Going on, guys? JD at JD's Custom Buggies. Progress video number 7, maybe, on the number 321. So, got a lot done last night. We got our steering shaft in today. We're gonna do tie rods and the steering tabs on the spindles. But till then, I got a little bit of a surprise because after the steering shaft, we got some tires and wheels out. We actually mounted the swing arm, put an axle on it, and I wanted to see what it looked like and how it's, you know, the stance of it and everything. And it's really hard to tell how these buggies look without wheels on them. So literally there's like a lug nut in each wheel, but it looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna give you a look at the overall buggy. We'll just do a quick walk around and kind of go over some things. All right, here we go. Ready? Let me back up a little bit. So I think it turned out really good. Surprisingly enough, when I started this thing, wasn't really super thrilled with, you know, I wasn't sure what it was going to look like, and it's hard to get this whole thing in the picture. Can't get back far enough. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out, so much so I kind of want to keep it, but I can't. So, like I said, all of the fabrication is basically done on this chassis. I'm going to have to go through and re-weld everything, or, you know, there's a lot of tacks on here. But I think she's looking pretty good. I can really get back. We'll get real back up here. That's a race buggy. That's going to be pretty stout. So, I'll show you what we got for a steering shaft. The first 14 inches up to the heim joint there, that's the stock steering shaft, and that block right there, that's stock. And then what I did was I drilled it out. It's a 7/8 steering shaft. I drilled it out the inner diameter to 3/4 and then slipped some D channel in there just a little bit, and used the 3/4 inch heim joint as the support. So the steering shaft is actually really sturdy. You see a bolt there in the shaft. That's so you can unbolt the that piece of D shaft and separate it if you have to change heim joint or whatever. Got to take these things into consideration. But the heim joint prevents it from coming back or going forward. All right. Then we have the other piece of D channel inserted into the D tube, and big old U joint there for the steering shaft. Now I'm gonna have to trim some of the steering shaft away. The reason why is I originally cut this flat stock. It was 14 inches long. It had a little more of an overhang sitting in it. The wheel was way too close to the chest, so I cut 2 inches off. That seemed to feel pretty comfortable. So I'll have to trim off 2 inches off that steering shaft. Now, some of you guys might be wondering what D channel is, or D tube is. Basically, this is a stock car thing, but you'll see it on some of your buggies. And that's what we make our steering shafts out of. It's literally kind of shaped like a D. That's the outer. I'm looking for inner right now. Give me a second. Here we go. So you can see how the one would slide right into the other. That's what we make our steering shafts out of. Comes in pretty handy. I wouldn't even know where to look for this or anything if I hadn't been in, you know, racing stock cars and fabricating stuff for that back in the day. So and then U joints. Fortunately, you know, the racks that we use are 5/8 36 blind, which is the same. That's you'll see that on a Yerf Dog, but not a Crossfire. Yerf Dog, I think, is the only buggy that actually came with a 5/8 36 spline, you know, receiver on a steering rack. So these racks that we use down here, same thing. So it's pretty standard size. The not quite sure what, like, you'll see on the Carters and the Hammerheads and whatnot, and even the Tomlin Crossfire. They have some, I don't know if it's a metric size or what, but The shaft is the same, but the U-joint part isn't. So anyway, got our tabs on. I'm not sure if we looked at this in the last video. I believe not, but we do have our tabs for our swing arm. The swing arm was so much wider than the chassis that it actually lined up with the outer tabs. So we used the outer tabs as the inner tabs, and then I just boxed that in and made more tabs and whatnot. And then for our shock mount, same problem. We had a wide swing arm, and the chassis so narrow that it was actually outside the shock mounts were actually outside of the frame perimeter. So kind of came up with this design here, and the reason why we have that is I didn't want this part to bend up. I know everything's kind of hodgepodge together right now, but we're going to clean it up right now and get some paint on it, and hopefully she'll look the part. So anyway, that's where we are right now. Hopefully by tonight all the fab will be done. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and then from there it's going to be on to the next buggies, which are sitting over there. So if you like the videos, please hit the like button, leave a comment or a question in the comment section, and whatever you do, subscribe, follow us. All right, guys, see you later. JD's out.